Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining me and Garo from Vexels. Today, we're going to be talking about Amazon KDP. Garo, man, nice to have you back.
Yeah, it's always good to be back talking with you. It's been a long time since the last time we talked, so I might be a little rusty, but let's get on with it.
Dude, it doesn't feel like it was that long, but it really has. It's been like
Yeah,
at least 5 months or something like that. So we got to do this more often, man.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like talking KDP with anybody because we were just talking off camera, man. There's so many ways to make money with KDP. And I think sometimes, like from the outside looking in, it can feel like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, or you know what I mean? And it's like, no, there's no right or wrong way. I mean, there's a lot of ways to attack it. So what are we going to be talking about today as far as like how Vexels can play a part in helping us expand our KDP business and increase profits?
Well, one of the things that we were discussing was the importance of having great designs. That's where Vexels is known for. We've been in the print on demand industry for about 4 years now. It's been a while. There has been a lot of growth in multiple aspects and in multiple products of the KDP industry, like T-shirts, phone cases, stickers. And one of those has been the self-publishing side of things. A lot of people have started flocking towards KDP, started to be interested in getting more and better phone phone case,
Yeah.
book book cover
No, the phone cases look great too, though.
book
You made me want to
cover
search it.
designs. Yeah. I got like kind of lost there, but yeah, KDP book covers, and recently we've been going more in detail with interiors, and like some of those are templates that you can use, and also coloring book graphics. Those are excellent for both youths and adults as well. So there's a lot of once you go into KDP, there's definitely a lot of things to explore. So that's part of the reason why so many people are going are like moving from selling T-shirts
Cannabis
onto
tracker.
yeah.
Guys thought of it all, man. You've officially thought of it all.
That's what people are looking for as well. So yeah, that's part of the reason why so many sellers like that used to do only T-shirts are moving on to KDP. Like there are so many new opportunities.
Yeah, you could use graphics like this as well on a t-shirt. You know what I mean? And I just recorded a video that it should be released by the time I release this interview of an Etsy shop that was themed after kind of like what do I call it? Like the palm readers and the phases of the moon, the tarot cards,
Like
and
esoteric.
yeah, and the shop was like just beautifully done, like everything, the branding, the products. I don't know if they're using Vexels because I mean this honestly looks a lot like what they had going on, but it was just so well executed. The consistency, how they did everything, and like by the way, this is what made me think of it is they were selling both notebooks and t-shirts and complimentary products, stickers, etc. with the graphics. You know what I mean? So they were really getting the most like bang for their buck as far as graphics go. And for anybody that's like not familiar with Vexels really quickly, because I've kind of while you were talking been showing off the I forgot to hide the overlay there. Sorry. I just upped it. I'm still getting better at streaming. But anybody not familiar with Vexels, like do you want to talk briefly about like how the pricing works? Because if I was watching, I'd probably be thinking like, okay, I can probably buy this graphic by itself. But that's not really how it works, right? Like, do you want to explain really quickly?
Yeah, sure. Vexels is basically a subscription platform, much like Netflix, Skillshare, or any of those digital platforms. In Vexels, you can buy a plan for either like a monthly or an annual fee,
Mm-hmm.
and basically it's very affordable in terms of the value that you get. It's not only that you get access to the basically the entire library, but also you get access to all of the tools, which are pretty powerful, and they're just getting better, including t-shirt makers, including mock-up generators, and yeah, there are other things that we do to help sellers sell more with quality designs and quality design tools. So yeah, there are also I would just wanted to quick mention that Ryan, in our partnership that we have with him, he has access to lifetime plans, which are a one-time payment plan, one-time payment option that buyers, that merch sellers can have. So we recommend you to check that one out as well.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly how my brain works. I always like opt for pretty much the lifetime myself, but I know that like everybody's working with different budgets, but also you compared it to like Netflix and stuff, but it's worth mentioning that
Mm.
as this is a business and this is an investment to generate business profits, like at least here in the United States, when you file taxes, like you can definitely deduct the expenses that were, involved in you reaching your profits against those profits. So, you know what I mean? Like you're not like, it's basically helping your tax penalty or your tax liability. So
Yeah.
that's definitely something that makes, paying, $700 for, not even a subscription at that point. You would just have lifetime, but it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, and on the contrary to Netflix, this is an investment. I mean, in the case of a lifetime subscription, I would look at it more like an investment rather than some kind of expense that I have to keep on dragging. I just invest one time in a service that can only keep growing their library. There are more products coming up. There are more tools that are being either improved or created. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and I mean, one way to frame this, guys, too, anybody on the outside looking in, like, oh, okay, you're just trying to sell us something. Number one, stay with us because we have an awesome freebie. And I can't say we because I honestly had nothing to do with making it, but Garo and the team at Vexels put together an awesome bundle of freebies, and it's not like some crappy freebie. It's actually really cool. So I'm going to show you that in a couple minutes, but and that's again truly free. But
Yeah.
also, if you're on the outside looking in and you're like, how do I justify another subscription for my business? Like, if you're serious about any business, like in this case, we're talking KDP. By the way, we should mention too that like obviously Vexels graphics can be used for more than just KDP. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We're talking KDP today, but you can go into like the merch graphics and find a bunch of, Cinco de Mayo graphics because
Mhm.
Cinco de Mayo is coming up. You know what I mean? Patterns as well. If you guys ever explore like doing all over print shoes or all over print backpacks or whatever, and you're like, I don't know how to make patterns. Well, leave it to the professionals, right?
Absolutely.
I wanted to say though that like if you're looking for justification of using Vexels and you're not sold yet, here is just like a way of hopefully justifying it, right? So I was looking at this before we started. I said, you know what, this looks really good. Like kids would probably love a KDP book. And in this case, like you don't even need to determine the niche, right? Like we've already got the interior built out for you. It's handwriting practice, which by the way, I mean, the unicorn theme is really only on the cover page. So if you wanted to remove, like not use the cover page, you could still use the handwriting practice template and cross niche this with other things, with fairies and what, Cinco de Mayo, whatever it is that you want to do. And I went ahead and like just downloaded this to show you guys what it is that you get. And they come optimized for, the most popular sized KDP like interiors and whatnot. But, you have like the cover page here, not your book cover, but this would be like an interior cover page. And then you've got the like actual interior page that you can just replicate any number of times. And when it comes to actually building a book cover for your book, you can just again use Vexels. This is all with your subscription, guys, and it doesn't have to be lifetime either. It could be monthly. But then you can just search for unicorn, and then you've got literally 17 pages of unicorn themed graphics that can help you design your cover. So, like, if you're already doing KDP and you're like, why am I struggling to make sales? Consider that somebody can subscribe to Vexels and knock out like easily 10 books a day because they're no longer having to like sit there and spend hours designing like covers and interiors. And I mean, you can do that, but you know what I mean? How does your book stack up against what we can create in minutes with the Vexel subscription? That's really what I was trying to say.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, man. I think there are like there's so much. There's only so much you can show. It's super important, like for people to explore themselves, like the variety of things that you can do with Vexels, especially with the PNG section, that you can have like tons of elements which are very basic, very simple, and that you can do a lot of stuff with them, especially in the KDP um, production model.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like the PNGs, like if you're
Yeah,
not a big graphic, like I'm not a big graphic designer, but I can work my way around with
yeah,
I mean I've said this in previous videos. One of my favorite things to do for like my t-shirt designs is come to Vexels and find like a more complicated like maybe graphics template. Like for instance, I could work with maybe this one and I'll download that and pull it into like Photoshop or whatever I'm using and just kind of like I can manipulate it so I could remove the pillow if I needed to. You know what I mean? If that suited my needs, or and probably remove the text. And since I'm in like Amazon merch tier 200,000, I might scale out, 100 designs based on this, where I can just add text above or below, and do something like that. Also, just worth mentioning really quickly that um, but this is a quick preview of the freebie, by the way. But like you can take um a graphic element from Vexels, and if you're worried about a lot of sorry, maybe this wasn't the best example, but a lot of copycats, like you can just adjust like the hue, right? The hue of the like so you can change the color of the graphics really quickly, really easily, as just a quick way of making like minor edits to something so that you stand out if everybody else. I'm not saying everybody's using Vexels, but I'm just saying if you're worried about something like that, like repetition, that
yeah,
might be a
absolutely.
nice way standing out.
Yeah, yeah, and like we've been working increasingly in making more and more custom graphics, custom resources that you can edit yourself. They can take them to a degree of originality and uniqueness that's only for you. We have some more stuff about it coming up in the year, later in the year, hopefully this year. But yeah, definitely working on new technology that's suited to create unique designs. Um, and well, what you just mentioned, you just showed one of the things that's included in the bundle. It's a scalable pattern. We call it scalable because you can basically edit any item of the design. You can generate as many patterns as you want, basically, as you want to work on.
Yeah, it's super
Uh,
cool, man. Like we were messing around with this before we got on, and it was like I was like, whoa, like because I'm not,
yeah,
I'm not a graphic designer. That's why I love Vexel so much, man. And this was like you can just mess around like this and update it, and then it updated everything in the previous. You see, so
and it
now it's got the
changes.
double. Yeah.
And yeah, and we were discussing this prior to getting on this call, and we our reaction was like, wow, I mean, it's that easy. Yeah, it's that easy. And and the quality is top notch. I mean, you can use those PNGs that I mentioned earlier. You can take, for example, a donut, a bagel, and a slice of pizza, and you can change those elements,
Yep.
uh, and you can create again songs of patterns, and that's awesome because a lot of like one of the designs that are the ones that work best are patterns, especially on notebooks and those kind of like journals, those kind of things that don't require specific kind of illustration. You know,
Hmm.
you can do a notebook about pretty much anything,
You
and
can
there
do
are
a donut
so
coloring book. You got all these here too,
yeah,
already
exactly,
stenciled.
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the power, the yeah, the creative power that we want to give to users, and we think that these kind of graphics, these kind of resources are extremely helpful for sellers who, you mentioned, that struggle, like that suffer, even suffer of like from having poor design skills, or like it doesn't take to be a great designer. It all it takes is to have the idea and the initiative to look for a quality designer, and Vexels is meant to do the design work for you.
Yeah, it's like having an employee that you can outsource to that's like very skilled. And I mean, I'm not even trying to like put people down, because it's like extremely common to do, either call it like paralysis by overanalysis, or just, self-imposing more work, like making things harder than they need to be, when like oftentimes the most successful people like take the path of least resistance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if you're on the outside looking in, you didn't know about Vexels, and you just saw like what we were able to kind of show in a couple minutes here, how to make like top-notch KDP books, not only covers but interiors. Um, it's like almost a no-brainer if you're serious about having a KDP business. And then also, I just wanted to show this from the bundle, which by the way, guys, is free. Like this is part of the free bundle, what we just showed you. You just use the link in the at the very top of the description. You'll come to my special page, and right here, you can access this KDP bundle. So, I mean, this is honestly like they should be charging for this, but who knows? So who
Yeah.
knows how long it's going to be there? It might not be there, forever. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pattern thing is super cool. Like you can literally make as many book patterns as you want. I'm just editing one graphic element, by the way. You guys
yeah,
can edit all of this. Like it's all interchangeable. I just had this queued up. And this is very similar to here, where you can edit and basically push changes to are these artboards? Is that what it's called? And
yeah,
they'll all change at the same time at different common dimensions for KDP books.
yeah. You can pick one of those artboards and edit like the elements. You can change the fonts, you can change the colors, you can add elements, you can take away whatever it is you need. So yeah, again, and the bundle includes about 8 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with them.
Yeah. So the patterns here, you've got
Yeah,
some, these are all the 8 different um like various, and by the way, guys, this is all part of the free bundle. So please at least take advantage of the free bundle, right? There's no reason not to.
yeah,
These are really cool.
yeah,
And then you had some interiors here as well. So, dot paper, graph paper. So there's really no excuse. I mean, if anybody doesn't have their first KDP book published and you've made it this far in the video, clearly you're interested. My challenge to you is go, if you don't have a KDP account, kdp.amazon.com. It's not like merch or Seller Central. You don't need to apply. You pretty much just sign up, and then you should be able to. I mean, I got my account years ago, but you should be able to just upload your first book. Now, the upload process definitely not the most intuitive. It's a long one. It's still 3 steps, but there's plenty of resources out there, including on my channel. So definitely go find a walkthrough if you need it and utilize these free resources. Publish your first book, even if it's not a amazing book that's gonna, make $1 million in sales. It's good to just get started. So that would be my challenge.
yes, totally. And it's like they say, work smarter, not harder, right?
Absolutely,
So
man.
this kind of helps in that aspect.
For sure. I mean, there's no denying that. And we talked about it really from the KDP perspective today, but don't forget that. I mean, really, it's merch, it's KDP, it's when I take designs, by the way, I mean, I like to publish them to eBay, Etsy, Amazon Seller Central, Amazon merch. If it looks good enough, like we were looking at the tarot card style designs, put it on a t-shirt, then put it on a sticker, then put it on a notebook. Like if you guys missed the Etsy shop review, episode number 40, please go back and just check that out, because this was one of the best shops I've ever seen. And just from like a branding perspective, all the everything they did just looked like beautiful. It just flowed really nicely. I don't know if that's like a Vexels thing. I'm guessing it probably wasn't Vexels, because most people, but
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, if you're wondering how to like replicate such a nice looking Etsy shop, you have all the tools you need, as we just showed you in Vexels, pretty much almost in any niche too, right? Like you have so many niches covered.
Yeah, it's I would invite everyone to check Vexels out, vexels.com. Search for KDP. There's a lot of things that you can browse. So I'll leave it up to you guys. And yeah, hope to see you again soon this time. All right.
For sure, man. For sure. We're definitely going to get back together. Maybe next time we'll talk about like, non KDP and figure out another way to like monetize some of these graphic elements and, or maybe you'll have some of the new KDP tools published as well. And then we can show them off too. So
We'll let you know for sure.
all right, man. Thanks, Garo. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye bye.